Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start the new topic of chapter 7, electricity and magnetism. And these topics are electrical cell, in which we are going to discuss about the primary cell, secondary cell, flow of electrical current in any circuit, and what is electrical circuit and what is its composition. Now we are going to start the new topic, that is sources of electricity. There are different sources of electricity or electrical current which we are using, like the electrical cell, electrical batteries, electrical generators, electrical power plant, which has been used for generating or producing some sources of electricity. Now, the first type of the sources of electricity is the electrical cell. What is electrical cell? Electrical cell is the smallest or the basic cell which has been used to convert the chemical energy into electrical energy. These are the smallest source of energy which can be used to convert the chemical energy into electrical energy, because some kind of chemicals are filled inside it which can be further used as converting them chemical energy to the electrical energy. Now, again, electrical cell further classified into different parts, primary cell as well as the secondary cell. What is the primary cell? Primary cells are those cells which are non-rechargeable cells. Means all these kind of cells are having a capacity or some kind of chemicals are present in the primary cell, but after the complete usage of these chemicals, these cells are becoming dead. We cannot use these kind of cells. But in case of secondary cell, we can recharge it after several times. Once the chemical has been finished, we can again try to having some kind of mechanism is there. With the help of that, these cells can be easily charged, like our mobile phone batteries. But in this cell, primary cells, some kind of common example of the primary cells are the simple dry cell, which has been used in the some toys, some remote, watches, and many of the other devices which we are using the simple primary cell as a non-rechargeable cell. Types of the primary cells are a simple dry cells, in which it is the completely dry in nature. That is why it is very easy to use. It is very handy for the transportation purpose. Some other examples are the volcanic cell, Lagrange cell, and the Daniell cell. But what is the demerit of these cells? These cells are not completely dry. These are having some amount of chemicals are there. That is the basic reason we are not using these cells frequently. But in case of simple dry cell, all the mechanism or the arrangement has been done in such a way so that the entire chemical has been completely dry, so that we can use it as many applications. Now we are going to discuss the first primary cell, that is a simple dry cell. Now see how this construction of the dry cell has been made. This inside the container, or the container has a zinc container is there, in which we are going to place a carbon rod. A outer portion is basically a zinc container, in which we are going to place a carbon rod, in which the portion or the cap of this simple dry cell is basically made of a brass, and the outer portion means the substances which has been just outside the carbon rod is manganese dioxide and a charcoal. Okay, one more time. This rod is basically a carbon rod we are going to place, and the container which we are using, that is a zinc container. Outside of the carbon rod, a mixture of the manganese dioxide and the charcoal we are going to mix, and outside of this container, outside of this manganese dioxide, a moist layer of the ammonium chloride and the plaster of Paris we are giving, or we are just trying to placing. See, inside a carbon rod is there, the cap is basically made of a brass cap, and outside this carbon rod we are using the manganese dioxide or a charcoal, and outside of this charcoal what we are going to place? A moist paste of the ammonium chloride and plaster of Paris we are going to use, and the portion which are outside, and all the other region we are going to use a plastic insulation, so that this portion will not in the physical contact with other one. See, all the three sides we we are going to use an insulation. Sometimes we are using a plastic container, or sometimes we are using any other substances for giving a proper insulation. But the base is remain free. The base will be remain free. So this top of this surface will be considered as the positive terminal, and the bottom of the portion is known as the negative terminal. And whenever we have to use this device or simple dry cell, straight away we try to use the positive terminal. We just try to connect with the positive of the device, and negative terminal we just try to connect to the negative of the devices. So these are the very simple construction of a simple dry cell. Now we are going to discuss about some advantage of the dry cell. See, some different kind of primary cell we have discussed. That is the simple dry cell, in which entire portion is completely dry. Some more types of the dry cell, primary cells are also there, like the Lagrange cell, Daniell cell, and volcanic cell. But in these all the cells, these all are not completely dry. They are having some kind of chemicals. After the uses of this chemical, they are becoming completely out of uses. Now, but why we are using this simple dry cell? Because they are having some kind of advantages. What kind of advantages it is having? It is completely dry and it is available in different size and shape. So wherever we have to use, we can use it very easily. Now second uses are, unlike the primary cell, it can be fitted inside the device without any risk of leakage. Means it is completely dry in nature, so there is a very low risk of the leakage. If you are not keeping for the long year or for any device for the long year, it will remain dry. Okay. And the third and the most important uses or the advantages of the simple dry cell is it is very easy and safe for transportation. Okay, so these are the some advantages for which we are using a simple dry cell. Now, next is our batteries. What is batteries? Batteries are basically the combination of cells. See, in the previous classes, I have tell you some symbol for the cell as battery, in which what I have represented that this is a simple cell in which having a one positive and one negative terminal. But in case of battery, what has been done? Some cells are being connected in the series form. What is series form? I will tell you later on in the further classes. Okay. So here I have used or I have made the symbol of a battery which is containing 3 cells. So these are the circuit diagram. But if we have to use a battery, like if we have seen a torch, earlier time the torch which we are using, so in which some kind of batteries we are using or some cells we are using, and we are making them a battery. And how we are making them in a battery? So we are simply taking like 3 cells we are taking, and we just try to arrange in a proper way, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. And then we are trying to insert one by another, and after keeping it in the torch started glowing. Okay. So the amount of the electrical current present in the cell is very small. So we need a kind of device having a huge amount of current. That is why we are using the battery. And how we are using the small batteries? With the help of simple dry cell, by connecting them all the dry cells in the series form. Just now we have discussed about primary cell, which can be used only and only single time. That is why we need a certain device or certain cell or battery which can be used several times. That is why we have designed secondary cells. So every cells are having a same principle or same mechanism. All the cells are basically our cell or battery are used to convert the chemical energy into electrical energy. But what is happening in case of secondary cell? See, secondary cells are used several times by passing electrical current. And whenever we pass electrical current in the secondary cells, it can be recharged. Like our mobile phone battery or the inverter batteries, what is happening? Whenever we are passing electrical current through these devices for some duration, it will becoming charged and we can again use it further. So what will happen? During the charging process, what will happening? All the electrical energy has been converted in terms of chemical energy, and it has been stored in the batteries or in some cell. But in case of discharging means whenever we are operating some kind of electrical gadgets with the help of these devices. So what will happen? At that condition, this stored chemical energy has been converted in terms of electrical energy. And this is the basic reason these cells are having a huge application. Nowadays, all the devices which are containing some kind of battery or cell, these are only and only using some kind of secondary cells, like our mobile phone batteries, like our smartphone battery, smartwatch batteries, like our neck band, or any other devices which are containing some kind of battery which can be used for the several uses, like the mobile vehicles also, motor vehicles also. All these vehicles are also having a kind of battery which can be recharged after some time. That is why it is having a large application. Now see, secondary cells can be further classified into two parts: lead acid battery, or we can say as a accumulator, and a dry cell. So what these two things are? See, from the name itself it is very clear. It is known as the lead acid battery. What is lead acid battery? These kind of batteries are made in such a way, it is having a container in which some plates of lead has been there, and we just try to fix, or we just try to fill some kinds of acid inside it, and whenever we are passing electrical current in these batteries, it is becoming charged. See what will happen in case of lead acid battery. All of you have seen this lead acid battery at your home, and where you have seen in case of inverter batteries. Lead acid batteries are used in inverters and the vehicle. The batteries which we are using in all the vehicles, these are also the secondary batteries, or generally we used to say as a lead acid battery, in which some plates are lead are there, and which can be tried to fill, or some kind of solution of some acid is there, in which these all plates are filled. But see, one more type is there, that is dry batteries. What is the demerit of these lead acid batteries? Lead acid batteries are having some kind of acid inside it. That is why it is not good for the transportation purpose. If some amount of acid has been coming outside, it will become some kind of problem for the person. That is why we are using the dry batteries. All the batteries nowadays which we are using in our mobile phone or our motor bicycles, these all the batteries are completely dry in nature. Why these has been used? Because these are completely dry in nature, so there are no risk of any kind of leakage. But these batteries can be further charged. In case of simple dry cell, this is also dry in nature, but it cannot be charged. That is why we are not using in all these applications. Otherwise, we have to reuse these many kind of batteries or cells several times. So that is the basic reason we are using some kind of secondary cells or secondary batteries which can be also recharged several times. In electromagnet, I have told you that each and every time electrical current will start flowing from the positive terminal. Now see, why electrical current and only moving from the positive terminal? If we are taking an example of any conductor or any metal, if we are given the example, so what will happen? Every metal are having, what is the construction of all the metals? All the metals are having some kind of valence electron, or we can say free electron. And whenever we just try to connect them in any electrical devices or any cell or battery, what will happen? These electrons will started moving. What is valence electron? I think in chemistry also you have discussed about valence electron. Every atom are having some number of electrons in their outermost shell. These electrons are known as valence electron. See what will happen if we are not going to connect any kind of metal with any external voltage source or a battery or under some ordinary conditions. So what will happen? All the molecules, basically all the free electrons, or we can say some valence electrons, are trying to move randomly. They are not able to change their places, because in case of solid, the intermolecular force is very high. That is why they are not able to change their places. And they can only try to vibrate at their own position. But whenever we just try to connect the same metal with a battery, see, I have taken a battery which is having two cells. So what will happen? All these valence electrons are getting aligned, or all these free electrons are getting aligned, or they are making in a proper way. And what will happen? See, these are the electrons, and electrons are basically negatively charged particle. See, this is the positive plate, and in the previous classes I have already explained about that if their charges are line, are either positive or negative, so what will happen? They both are having force of repulsion. But if they are having two unlike charges, like the positive or negative positive, so what will happen? They both are having the force of attraction. So what will happen? These are the electrons these are the free electrons. So what will happen? They are negatively charged particle, and what will happen whenever we just try to connect them with battery? So all these electrons will align. First of all, they get aligned, and these free electrons will started moving in the circuit. These are the connecting wire. This is a battery, and this is a conductor, or we can say any metal wire. So what will happen? Electrons are started moving towards the positive plate, because this is the electron which is negatively charged particle, plus this is the positive plate. So what will happen? All the electrons are getting attracted near this positive plate. And what about this plate, negative plate, what it is doing? So again further, whenever the electrons are coming here, it is basically trying to repel by this negative plate. So electrons are basically making a complete path, and it started flowing. All these free electrons are coming near this positive plate, and again this negative plate is trying to repel the electron, and they are moving in a complete or a closed loop. So in this condition, what is happening? Electrons are basically moving in the anti-clockwise direction. So what will happen? What is the state of electrical current? This is a conventional statement that each and every time electrical current will try to flow in the opposite direction of the movement of electron. If electrons are moving from left to right, so what will happen? Electrical current will move from the right to left. So what will happen? In this condition, electrons are moving in the anti-clockwise direction. So what will happen? What is about the electrical current? Electrical current is moving just opposite direction of the movement of electron, and it will be moving like this. See, anti-clockwise, what is moving? Electrons are moving. But what about the electrical current? Electrical current is moving in this circuit in this clockwise direction. Is it clear? And that is the basic reason each and every time electrical current will try to flow from the positive terminal, and it will be finishing at the negative terminal. Is electrical circuit and circuit diagram. What is electrical circuit? Electrical circuit is the combination of mainly two elements, active element and passive element. In the previous classes, I will clearly explain you all the components with the help of some symbol. Like if I have to represent some wire, I usually represent like this. If I have to represent a resistance, I usually represent like this. If I have to represent one bulb, I usually represent like this. If I have to represent one cell, I usually represent like this, one positive and one negative terminal. And if I have to represent one battery, so battery is the combination of more than two cells, two or more than two cells. So here we are having a battery containing two cells, a kind of device which is used for measuring electrical current. I usually represent like this. If I have to represent the voltmeter, a kind of device which is used for measuring voltage, I usually represent like this. And if I have to represent the galvanometer, so I usually represent like this. So these are the some symbols which are representing some electrical component, because if we are going to make their physical diagram, it will become a little bit complicated. That is why we are using some kind of symbols. So what is electrical circuit? Electrical circuit is the closed path through which current is flowing. Many places the same definition is given. Electrical circuit is the combination of active and passive element. What is active element? All the element which are storing the energy, like cell and battery are the two elements which are storing the energy. So these two elements are known as active element. And what about the passive element? All the element which are dissipating energy or which are consuming energy, like this resistor, this bulb or inductor or capacitor. All these kind of element which are consuming energy or which are dissipating energy are known as passive element. So electrical current is the closed path in which electrical current is flowing, is known as electrical circuit. And for every electrical circuit, there are the two mandatory conditions. The first condition is the circuit must be closed. If the circuit is not closed, the current will never flow in the circuit. And second condition is, in every electrical circuit, there must be an active element is present. Active element means some sources of electrical current, either a cell or a battery must be present. So this is all about the electrical circuit.